A question that I've also been asked to ask, which I would also like to ask, is June 12th.
Yeah.
June 12th was considered one of the fairest elections we've ever had in this country. And at the time, you were the head of state. And June 12th was not. Why?
I have always said, I looked at June 12th in two ways. The first one, at least for once, Nigerians accepted that it was the freest, the best organized election, free, fair, and so on, all everything. I think what is missing is, unfortunately, we cancelled that election.
You said unfortunately.
Yeah. That's the first time I'm using that word.
I picked it up, unfortunately.
Okay. Unfortunately, the elections were not recognized or were announced, as the media would like me to say. Now, we were in government at that time, and we knew the possible consequences of handing over that government to a democracy, to a democratic government. Now, get me right, I didn't say to
the person.
To the person.
The process.
The process. And we had, when the process was going on, we did swear that ours was going to be the last military coup that we were going to handle. So we wanted to make sure we handed power to a democratically elected government. To be honest, the situation was not right to hand over at that time. Forget about the wrong things that the political parties have. No, that is not the issue.
What was the issue?
The issue was the security of the nation. And we considered that we would have failed after handing over power. 6 months is kicked out.
What was the security threat?
Security threat is that at that time there was all this fear. I went through a coup d'etat. I survived a coup d'etat. We did not want it to happen.
So there was likely to be another coup.
Right. And it would have been a bit bloody. But then not many people want to believe what we said. But we knew what was.
Could I ask who the plotters were? Do you know who they were?
The plotters were the usual coup plotters. You know, they could have allowed me to go away, and then regroup and stage a coup.
When you say the usual, the usual, I don't know.
The usual coup plotters.
Oh, okay.
They are the military now. This thing happens. There is always a man who will come out and complain to say this is wrong. We can't have it. And such a man will always try to convince you, to convince everybody who is here that this is wrong. This is how you build it.
So that was it? So they just let him go through the process and then...
Just let's buy time. We, again, I am aware I'm going to be in trouble on the outside. We knew in 1983,
that
when you had an election and Shagari was voted in as in his second term as a democratically elected president, we could have toppled that government in 1982 before the elections. But then we said no, the people might go against us. We knew damn well that they were not going to conduct that election truly and fairly. And therefore, you see, to stage a coup, there is one basic element that everybody looks for. Frustration in the society.
Frustration in the society.
Right. So by 1983 when you voted, everybody was not happy. It was rigged, it was this, it was that. And the frustration built up. we find who easier when there is frustration in society.
You see, the daughter of Abacha keeps sending all the evidence and proof on her Twitter handle, which is formerly X now, formerly Twitter, and she posted this write-up by Mr. Shafian Lawal Kabo. He said, and it's captioned IBB's confession, a needless revelation that diminishes legacy. That's a tough one. So the daughter is the one posting this, and I shared it from her ex handle, and it goes to show that they are really pained. You know, I did a video where I talked about they are being pained, that IBB wouldn't have opened these wounds. He could just say he takes responsibility. He had no reason to add, you know, because to me, even the reason he gave is no reason. Yes, he would have just said, just like he has exposed the knot. He said there was no, everything was cosmetic. Like all these things they're talking about were just make believe, like they didn't really happen. So, and all the interviews, you can see the interview he had about 16 years ago. Some other interviews he had 17, some 18 years ago. IBB never mentioned that it was Abacha that made him. He kept saying it was for the good of the country. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section, because this matter is becoming, somebody wrote a book, went to jail, another person wrote a book, and they're applauding him, and some family members are not happy. Let's